One Punch Man Season 3 Episode 11 is here. Before I talk about the bad, let's talk about the good. I liked Child Emperor in the beginning of the episode. I liked how he didn't need the other heroes to help him out. Dude just walked straight back into the underground lair to find Taro, a pretty ballsy thing for him to do. I really love this shot of the black spam. I talked about this shot in an earlier video today that I released. Now that we see the mouth moving, oh my goodness, this shot looks so creepy. But I do like the way it's shaded, I like the extra details. The Atomic Samurai versus Black Spam battle actually had some pretty nice sequences. There's this incredibly fluid shot of the Atomic Samurai snapping his fingers as his clothes are just flapping in the wind. And then we have this absolutely insane ODM Gear-esque animation sequence of the Atomic Samurai just jumping and leaping from wall to wall, slicing and dicing the black spams. Wow dude, look at this sequence, it is so incredible, it's so dynamic. Without a doubt one of the best animated sequences of the entire season. And even those purple effects before he slashes in this final pose are wonderfully animated. This sequence of the black spams kicking the Atomic Samurai and them all charging towards the Atomic Samurai actually looks pretty good. I can't quite tell if the black spams are all CGI or just 2D characters running in a CGI environment. Regardless, it looks pretty good. This shot of the Homeless Emperor with him standing in the middle and those fire flames in the front looks incredibly cinematic, dude. And the animation is going crazy on his hair and cape. I really do like this sequence of Zombie Man jumping up and charging towards the Homeless Emperor. I like how intense his facial expressions look. I just wish that animation sequence lasted a little bit longer. And this sequence of the Homeless Emperor firing at Zombie Man, animating his head in black and white just as his head goes boom, was actually a very great way to make this episode PG friendly. I must say the shot of Zombie Man just collapsing to the floor also had pretty nice animation. I like this shot of the Homeless Emperor charging his blue beams towards the Zombie Man. As well as all that, I was very engaged in the Homeless Samurai's backstory. His whole backstory is so tragic and really frustrating. What do you mean his boss asked him to do something like that and for the next day for him to be fired? Isn't that his boss? Was he trying to find a way to fire the Homeless Emperor? What makes this entire backstory so great is that the Homeless Emperor, instead of getting revenge towards his boss, realized that the world is bigger than those big tower buildings that he was working in. And the visuals that complemented the backstory was a very nice touch to add that extra sense of awe and wonder, seeing the Homeless Emperor realize that wow, the world is so much grander than what he knew it was before. The beautiful visuals correlate to Homeless Emperor absolutely appreciating nature. The visuals are both beautiful yet also really sad and also horrifying, which explains his emotions, but him feeling sad and horrified and even angry and disgusted that the humans are slowly ruining this earth. The god sequence was actually a little bit better than I expected it to be. I did see the leaked image, it was blurry, but now that I'm seeing it in motion, it looks pretty good. Not only is it faithful to the manga panel, but it actually looks a little bit better in my opinion, mainly because it's animated, I suppose. This design reminds me of Alien X from Ben 10 Ultimate Alien Force. The Homeless Emperor character might actually be one of the best villains in this entire series. He's the best monster in the Monster Association lair. He is actually a character that I somewhat understand why he is the way he is, just like with Garu. You could honestly write an entire Homeless Emperor storyline with this character. I really liked the Mycoplasma high voltage mode sequence. Very visually dazzling. It would have looked a lot better without the ghosting and dimming, but hey, it is what it is. In the past, I have absolutely criticized the disco light filters, and I will continue to criticize the disco light filters later on in the video, but for this one shot of Puri Puri Prisoner, this might be the best use of the disco light filter. Maybe not so much the background, but his entire character design. The colors work well together and it actually fits the character's personality. Possibly one of the best well-drawn shots in the series. Puri Puri Prisoner's little dance sequence was actually well animated. The final pose ended up looking a lot different to the opening, but honestly the dance he did was so good that I don't mind this shot. Him running towards the elephant looking dude was yet again another really really great animated sequence. I like the Gum Gum Gatling-esque attack towards the elephant, and that cat monster, the way it was animated as it was running away from Puddy Puddy Prisoner, was nice and fluid to look at. But those are all the good things about this episode. Let's talk about the bad. Once again, this episode has many issues that the previous episodes of this season had. Really ropey animation here and there, very disappointing and lackluster art. And even though I did praise the whole homeless samurai backstory sequence and the visuals, the disco light effect filters was a little bit obnoxious. I mean, what was going on with that filter? It kept changing colors over and over again. I mean, one could actually say that it fits his mental state because the homeless emperor was crashing out and having a breakdown, and those different light filters are more or less correlating to his mental state. But at the same time, I do feel a little sick with the amount of times the color keeps changing. I feel like someone working at the studio is actually seeing all of these memes about the disco light filters and are just trolling the fans at this point. The sound, cutting, and mixing was a little off for some reason. It didn't happen all the time, but it was incredibly distracting to hear. Overall, while the story was really good and the animation looked pretty nice in some scenes, I do feel like this episode once again had the same issues as the previous episodes. A lot of the art looked incredibly flat, crude, badly drawn, and really weird cuts. The editing was not good at times in this episode, and the sliding PNGs, yikes. Even though I praised the Puddy Puddy Prisoner disco light filter scene, this episode has possibly the most use of the disco light filters, especially in the first half. It wasn't even utilized well. It was annoying to look at and just really visually unappealing. It actually takes me out of the episode, if I'm going to be honest. So while this episode was much better than last week's episode in terms of some of the animation, I don't think it lived up to the high points of episode 8 with Flashy Flash, Gale Wind, and Hellfire. That episode is still the best episode of this season. But now we keep on moving forward to the 12th and final episode of season 3. Homeless Emperor and Zombie Man have not quite finished their fight. You had that really nicely well drawn shot of Zombie Man regenerating, so I can only assume that the first half of next week's episode will be Zombie Man and Homeless Emperor for the first half, and potentially Saitama Garu versus Orochi. Because if you've seen the opening theme song, you see Saitama and Garu fighting Orochi. But what do the fans think about this episode? I wonder if they like or dislike it. Tell me in the comments down below, what did you guys think of One Punch Man season 3 episode? Did you like or dislike the episode? Tell me. If you read the manga, did it surpass the manga? Was it on the same level, or was it a big letdown? I don't know, I'm an anime only, so please tell me. Like this video, subscribe for more One Punch Man videos, as well as other anime news updates, reviews, comparisons, breakdowns, rankings, and more. Thank you for watching. The Second Boy Dude signing out.